Hi, this is Brett Miller from Custom Software by Preston, and I wanted to take this opportunity to speak with you about the subject that I seem to be asked about quite often, which is what's the best way to get funding for my mobile app idea. And I find myself sharing this information all the time, so I thought I'd record myself sharing it with YouTube. So without further ado, the ways that I see it are there's the venture capitalist and angel investors route, there's crowdfunding, there's revenue sharing or equity partnerships with your developer, and then there's the concept of getting loans or grants through the bank or some type of association that is issuing grants for various business ideas. Now, in order to reach out to those organizations and to represent yourself as professionally as possible, you can't just come to them with an idea, hey, I want to build something like, oh, I don't know, Tinder. You have to be a lot more sophisticated. And they're not only judging your idea, but they're also judging you as an entrepreneur and your team to see the sophistication that they feel that you have. So those are certainly aspects that affect this decision. Now, when companies come to us or individuals come to us and we know that they're considering this route of getting funding, what we advise them to do is work with us and put together a set of mock-ups and user stories related to their specific business idea. Now, to get into the specific details of what a mock-up is, that's the actual look and feel that individual screens would have within the application. So that's designing your finished application on paper, but it's not doing any of the programming. So you would have a series of images that represent the screen designs and how they interact together. And this is a document that you can take to investors, and it would certainly show your level of seriousness and sophistication about making your idea a reality. And it's not just the mock-ups. We work with companies to build the user stories, which is how different users interact with the system, what the different roles are, and what they can do within the application. And we find that this method definitely increases the chances of you finding funding, whether it's any of those methods that I suggested. But bear in mind, when you sit down with these investors or put your information out on the internet, they're judging you as a person and they're judging your idea. And it really, if I had to boil it down to one word that would describe how do you get funding, it's drive, because it's the entrepreneur's drive that day in and day out to reach out to new people, to expand the idea, to continue to push this concept to find success. It's not just the idea. So to talk about some of these sources in a little bit more detail, the first one that we get asked about just continually, seemingly, is the revenue sharing. And entrepreneurs come to us and they want to entice us into building their app for free in hopes that it becomes a success and then we can get paid. And that's a challenging position to be in, because we don't have any working history with this particular entrepreneur, and our specialty isn't necessarily around making an idea successful. It's just around building a very solid app that works wonderfully. But the success, that more relates to getting it in the hands of the right people. So generally, it's a bit challenging to find really quality developers who are willing to work on an equity basis, because there are so many wonderful paying opportunities out there where there's no risk involved. So to take any risk would be risky, I guess you could say. So that's a bit of a challenging one. The venture capitalists and angel investors, that's all about having a sophisticated team and the drive and the persistence to make it happen, having a business plan, a marketing plan, a solid revenue model, and that takes, you have to have the drive to get through a lot of rejection in that model. And recently I heard an entrepreneur talking about that they had presented their ideas to 80 different investors and got rejected by the first 80, and it wasn't until that 81st that they were awarded any type of revenue or any type of financing. So can you imagine going through that? I mean, it just kind of boggles my mind that someone would have the continual drive to do that in the face of such adversity. But I think that's what you need to make it happen. And then there's the crowdfunding, and there's a lot of sites that come in at different points of the process and can help you, and you can use to reach out to your friends. There's Kickstarter and Indiegogo and AppBackr and AppStori, and I'll include those in the notes here on the YouTube video. But those are just some of the crowdfunding sources, and they have their positives and negatives. It's certainly worth a try, but again, it's not something that's, I would say, simple. And then there's the final approach, which is reaching out and getting a loan or a grant from the appropriate institution, which is a viable option as well. But as far as working with our company, the way we like to enable the entrepreneurs to get their financing, and the way that we do that is through putting together some great mock-ups that show the beauty of the application and how it will function, and then additionally the use cases, so that you can see exactly how someone would interact with the system. So that's the value that we feel that we can offer, but it's really important for someone to be able to make that initial investment in order to get those documents and artifacts, so that those can be presented to the right party, so that an idea could be funded. Again, just wanted to share that information. This is Brett Miller, Custom Software by Preston. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and good luck on getting your app financed. Thank you very much. Bye.